you a
Probably don't want him
towel
too
and give you
relaxed.
some cab fare.
Yeah, then he sends you the bill, right? That's the real clincher.
Yeah. JJ don't even buy people drinks first.
Right?
He just
Let me just get this
he
straight.
just
If you go to the dentist and he jerks off right there in front of you, to you, over your body, but doesn't touch you, you're okay with that, JJ?
Well.
Oh, he's already backpedaling. Okay,
Oh,
false
no.
alarm,
It's okay to
guys.
be actually
False alarm,
honest.
guys.
No, I'm not backpedaling, but
are you front?
As long as it's not you.
I think there is one mitigating factor of the proximity, but I mean, for the most part, no, I don't have a problem.
See, this keeps coming down to the proximity thing, and I don't know that you guys have ever fully explored that. The difference, if any, between being in a one-on-one video call as opposed to being in a one-on-one personal, like in-person conversation. Like, where are you drawing that line? Why are you drawing the line? What makes it different to you that makes it seem like, oh, all the rules are gone, I can jerk off because it's a camera, but not in person? I'd like
Right,
to
we need new
understand.
legislation.
I don't understand where there's a disconnect there. Why are they seen as such different situations when they're really not?
There's no potential of physical harm.
Yeah,
No,
but she's not worried
that's-
about being physically harmed.
It could root back to that, yeah.
But that's not at the root of this issue. It was a matter of consent because she was present. It wasn't because she was scared of being harmed.
Were the lights dim?
That's a good question. How
What
dim
kind of
were the
music was
lights?
playing?
What if
Did
the
you have
lights were
some Barry
completely
White
out?
going, JJ?
What if the camera was on, but you couldn't see anything because the lights were all off?
That's still.
What
Oh
if you're
God.
both wearing blindfolds? I don't
what
know.
if-
Just use
But
a
they're
regular
still
phone
here.
call.
What
You
if,
still
like,
hear
that
it.
was just understood that that's something that a lot of dentists were doing, and it was brought to people's attention, and they're just like, no, this is cool, and so they're just like a bunch of people in dentistry and going into dentistry in order to do that. You're just cool with that?
Yeah, it'll reduce their suicide rates.
I mean, I don't care.
Well,
What
that's
the fuck?
Tom, have you ever been put under at a dentist or anything?
yeah.
Do you mind that they jerked off in the room while you were
Yeah,
out?
I fucking.
I always tell them I'm not paying if I wake up and my zipper's undone. That's
Do you mind, Tom, that they jerked off while you were out?
Yeah, I would mind.
I think
But-
we all would.
But you don't know
JJ.
about it.
It's still messed up though.
Yeah, I can't mind something that I don't know about, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, let's just
Right.
ask this, JJ.
Right.
JJ, if you were
1
raped
second,
in the
Joe Biden.
ass by the
1 second,
doctor,
Joe.
but
Yeah,
you
you're
just didn't know about
this
it,
is
would you be
just-
fine with
This is
it?
just dumb. I don't know
That
why
ain't dumb.
why are you so dumb?
It's the same thing you just said.
No, it's not nearly.
It's
You
really
should just
dumb
shut the
'cause-
fuck
What
up.
if
Look,
they
you're
just?
going
dumb.
What if they just?
JJ, you're an idiot, dude. You don't understand what
Penis.
you're saying
I
right
don't
now.
think- I don't
you're
think
trying to
you
isolate
know.
something,
I don't
JJ,
think
and I'm
you
isolating the
know.
same thing you're isolating.
No, that's incorrect. Tom,
No.
you don't know that they jerked off.
Right.
They probably did. Are you upset about it?
They probably did, yeah.
So you are upset that they jerked off.
Yeah, if they probably did, yeah. I already said it that I was upset.
Okay. Well, you said no.
I think my teeth would gradually start to
I said
rot
I
out of
can't-
my mouth,
I said I
knowing that
can't-
dentists.
I said I can't
did
be
that.
upset about something that I don't know about don't know about, and then you said that they probably did it. So yeah, of course I'm upset.
Oh,
Well,
Tom,
if
you could
you're
always
upset,
record.
you have the wrong worldview.
I just got a great idea to start a new channel. The truth about dentists.
You could always record. You could take your phone in there and record everything that happened.
What's the difference between like the Peter Singer coma patient rape thing? I guess you're just okay with that too?
So we've had this discussion before, right? And It seems like that is definitely crossing a boundary with physical contact. Right. Right, but there's still, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting
Yeah, I don't
question.
know, man. Maybe it's alright.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's understandable. No. I said that I can touch myself. I have autonomy over my own body, but it is violation. It's a violation, but it's a violation. It's a violation for me to fuck you in the ass, Tom, even though you don't know about it. Do you see the boundary there? Why what? Because I don't have consent to touch your body. You are the boundary. I am the boundary. I can do whatever I want to me, but I don't have the right to do it to you, to do anything to you.
Oh, so you can jerk
Even
off in
though
front
you
of
don't.
somebody even if they know about it, right? That's still not wrong. Because you can do whatever you want to your body.
Correct.
You think there's only one factor here, Jovan?
You just said it. You just think
No, I didn't.
the fact that you can do whatever you want to your body.
All I did was point out the difference.
So you can't just do whatever you want with your body, right? So
Why don't you understand that there are two factors here, Jovan?
But so your initial statement was wrong. You can't do anything you want with your body.
Right. I can do whatever I want to my body. I don't need anybody's consent. And as long as they don't know about it, that's the part that's icky to people, is that they are witnessing it. Right?
So those are the two factors.
Yeah, I can do. I have autonomy.
Okay,
over my
then.
body.
So the situation, we'll just take the physical contact out of it. The dude did the exact same thing. He just didn't actually touch the girls. He just jerked off in front of them every time they were unconscious. Is that okay?
We already went over that. I don't have a problem with that.
You said no. You said there he didn't know. You said there's a proximity issue.
Oh, that's what I said. That's what a lot of people are going to say. I said I don't have a problem with it.
You have no problem. Jerking off.
I don't.
Anesthesia patients too, though.
Well, what about they don't jerk off, but they're picking their nose or they're picking their butt? These are other things that people might think are
That's
icky.
not sexual gratification.
What does that have to do with it? What if somebody gets off by picking their nose?
Right. So
Then they shouldn't do
JJ,
it?
so JJ, you think that you should be able to jerk off in public in front of people, right? Because there's no difference in picking your nose, right?
And they would know about it.
I think I already said that.
I think JJ might be grasping at
Say
something
what?
like they don't count as actually being present when they're unconscious like that. So it's kind of like, is it okay to jerk off when they're not in the room or like after they leave thinking about them or something like that? Like you're still violating some form of
Right.
consent. But if they're unconscious, they're not really present as like an agent or whatever. So like anything that you do in that context is not going to be impactful on them.
Then
So
what does
if
it
I-
matter? Wait, what does it matter if you violate their physical body then? If nothing matters, as long as they don't know about it, right? Then it didn't matter.
It's not about them not knowing about it in that case.
And
It's
if that's
about-
true,
It's about
Well,
violating
then
their physical
what Iron
body.
said can't apply, because that would lead you to say
No,
that you
it's-
can
that's not-
violate them.
You
No,
didn't-
no. Listen,
you
you
didn't
can't.
hear what I
Listen, you
said.
can't impact their body, right? That's one thing they put on the table. I think it's common sense. But then on the other hand, he's saying if
Common
they're
sense,
not-
Jovan.
I think
if
it's
they're not-
common
if
sense
they're
not to
men-
beat
if they're
off.
not mentally
Well,
present.
on phone calls with people. Yeah.
If they're not
Why?
mentally present, then they don't count as being present for the purposes of masturbation.
No.
Why, JJ?
But it's not wrong after the fact.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
What, you don't like my
Jay,
answer?
you lined yourself up for that one, man.
You don't like my answer?
Wait, so it's not wrong at the time, but now it's wrong, JJ?
Well, I'm not going to
What-
repeat myself.
What changed it? What was the catalyst?
Nothing changed.
Actually, if JJ had no intention for them to know that he did, then it might be the person that revealed the information that actually did the damage that's responsible for doing the wrong thing in this case.
He's the one that said there was jizzing. That was the information there.
Good try, Iron. Good try.
That's not exactly, but
I tried, JJ. I gave it my all.
yeah, it doesn't make it wrong after the fact.
But that's not the truth. She said herself that a couple of times she told him to stop touching himself.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
true though.
Well, you saying it's not true doesn't mean it's not true, JJ.
Well,
Yeah.
her saying it's true doesn't make it true either.
But it being
but
true
I-
does make you even more of a fucking fuck up. So I understand why you're.
Mm,
It's a little more rapey that way. So I understand why you're backing away.
well, it's not rapey to begin with, for one thing.
Well, when someone says no and you do, I'm not saying it's rape. I'm just saying it's rapey.
Right. But there was
There's-
no saying no and then refusing to stop of anything.
Well,
honestly.
she claims. I listened to
I know
her
I know
part
I know
in
what
the
I know
video.
what she claims.
Well, and all we have is your denial of those claims, which means fuck all.
Well, her claim means fuck
And
all.
based on your past history of what we know about your legendary status, I would say that what she said to you is not at all out of character or unexpected.
He is a legend.
I don't-
He's a legend.
I don't think you know the facts.
You don't. Okay. All right.
Well,
All you have
especially
is
when you
hearsay.
constantly say, "Well, she may have said something like that, but I don't remember."
Well, she did say something like what she said, but not for the reason she stated.
Oh,
But you agree, Snoogs, all you have is hearsay.
Oh, absolutely. He said, she said,
Okay.
for sure. But I don't understand what's in her interest to say that those things. All she had to say is, I had no idea. This is news to me. That's pretty gross now that I know about it. Instead of saying, yeah, actually, I told him not to do that a bunch of times before he did it. Blah.
Yeah, that was after the fact.
Well, I'm saying if she had found out after the fact that all this shit happened, which she clearly didn't know about until someone told her, she easily could have just been like, oh, I didn't know that happened. That's really gross. The end. But she actually said that she told you to stop doing it initially. So it kind of follows, right? To me, that's more believable.
Well, I mean, if you actually look at the evidence, she was initially angry at somebody telling her that there was a rumor about some cam sex. Again, which I didn't start, nor did I spread.
There you did. You admitted to being the genesis of it.
Incorrect, Jovan.
Yeah, there was a lot of jizz, right? Remember, JJ?
Oh no.
You're just wrong, Jovan. I
That's
wish you
correct. You said that conversation was the genesis of it, and it came about because of what
It's
you
not.
said.
It's not. It's not what I said.
That is what you said.
Nope.
She actually admitted it in hour 10. She said that she was completely fine with it. It was the fact that it got out. That's why she was all mad.
what?
Oh,
That's
I missed
not
that
what she
part.
said. That's
I
not
don't
what
think
she
she-
said. She
It was
said
the
she was
fact.
mad at the fact that he went around telling people this shit.
Exactly. Well, that's what I said. That she was mad at the rumor that it got out, but she thinks it was Jay that did it. That's the whole issue.
It was just
That's not
that
what
did
you
it.
said.
And that's not what you just said. You said that she was okay with it until she found out Jay had told people. Which is not at all what she said.
No, yeah, it's exactly. She thinks she was under the impression that Jay said was spreading the rumor around, which he didn't.
Correct.
Okay, the way you said it the first time was not this, so.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm tempted to think that you said the opposite of that.
What?
What?
You're tempted what?
I never said anything about tempted.
Oh.
Tempted by the fruit of another.
I could have swore you just said you're tempted to say something.
No, I said that. Oh, I see. No, I said that I tempted. Okay, I see. Yeah, I said I tempted.
Tom, can you give me a mic check real quick?
Me? I need a mic check.
No, Tom.
Yeah. Layla no nurse. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Thank you. Give me a second.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying, JJ, that I'm tempted to say that the other guy said the opposite of what he claimed he originally said.
Oh, you sound fine.
That's what I
on the live stream. Never mind.
Does it sound like I'm going super fast right now? Or do I sound like I'm
talking fast? But you are. That's just how you normally talk.
Oh, excellent. So my mic quality doesn't sound like atrocious or anything?
No.
Excellent. I'm riding my bike going pretty fast through the wind right now, so that's pretty cool.
Doesn't sound as bad as Landon's audio.
Do you have ET in the front basket?
That's so funny.
ET, go home.
Can you hit your little
Yeah, there's
what is
wind
that?
noise now.
Now there's wind.
Oh, okay.
Turn
Yeah, I was just
around,
trying to
hit your bell first. Hit your bell first, Yuri.
Ching, ching, ching.
ring, ring, ring.
Do you have those little?
I honestly
those
think the
little
only way to
streamers on your
settle
hand?
this is if we somehow could reenact this whole thing to get a better.
I think not.
No, let's not.
Reenactment.
Yeah, Shay, you're gonna have to call JJ and reenact this first.
They totally did that yesterday. They had people take the roles of what's her name? And
No, but we're
JJ
gonna
and
do a
then
live
we-
reenactment.
Man, that was great.
Where you're actually doing the things. You're gonna get on video call with JJ.
Uh-huh.
Look at her being all coy. She's like, oh, tee.
Why don't you have someone just for the entertainment of the room and people who weren't here yesterday or didn't hear the whole thing? Was it yesterday or the day before?
Oh. Fuck, did I call Shay Snoogs again?
Do the
If
script,
I did, I
Do
apologize.
the script. Do the script. JJ, you could even be yourself.
Shay, do you want to be You want
No.
to be the female?
No. No.
Oh, so you're all too willing to
I'll be the
listen to
female.
someone else do it.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
I'll be
I'm
the
just
female.
like putting out the idea, you know. See who's posting it. There you go.
Hey,
Choose your roles, people.
I'll be the female.
Just
Oh
click
God,
play.
please let Landon be the female.
Yo, Landon, you're
I'll be
the virgin,
JJ.
not the
Oh,
female.
please, please.
I posted Dark Snooze.
Please, please,
Wow. Good. Saw that one, Joe.
Please
Are
let
they in the
Landon
right
be the
order
female.
this time?
Yeah.
Good old Joe.
Snoogs, why don't you do it?
Ken,
No,
why
no,
do you
make
keep
it be Landon.
mentioning revealing her tits?
I'll be JJ.
Oh my God!
Try
I
and
can't
find the
believe you guys
last
took me
one.
up on
There's
this.
one more.
Everybody wants to be me.
Oh my God.
You're a douche.
Get over
You know
it,
that?
JJ.
Yeah, they have a practice round and then a formal
draw straws.
presentation.
Can you take like some artistic like liberties and like make JJ into like really creepy sounding mouth breathing pervert like Hunchback of Notre Dame style?
I was
You're a
disappointed in
douche.
Ray's performance.
Isn't that what he
The
sounds
way he
like?
sounds on Thursdays.
JJ, I think you should be yourself today.
That's pretty harsh.
Okay, tell me you do it.
I'm missing one of them.
Harsh.
No, there it is.
That sounds like that old 90s, early 2000s porn star who used to fuck all those females.
Yeah, porn
forgot who his
stars.
name was.
Yeah. The porn star that fucked all the females. Yeah, okay.
No,
great.
no, it's the male
In the
one.
90s. In the
No, it's
90s.
ma-
He narrowed
no,
it
it's
down.
the male. No, it's the male one that always used to make all those noises and stuff like that. Oh yeah.
This
Oh
just
yeah.
sounds like a
You're
gremlin.
describing 90% of male
Yeah,
porn
which
stars
one
in
is
any.
that?
That's pretty harsh.
The only one that's really vocal is Lexington Steele that I know of.
Which
Peter
one?
North is too, or was.
It's that white guy who. Oh my gosh!
You're probably thinking of Peter North. I bet you are.
Peter North. There we go. I think that rings a bell.
Did he used to do both gay porn and straight porn?
No, Peter North
No,
never
he just
did.
did straight.
Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did.
Peter
I'm
North
pretty
did
sure
gay
he
porn.
did. Pretty sure.
He would work both sides because there was as much lucre in fucking gay porn as there was in straight porn. And you got to have the lucre.
I'm glad that Gus memorized this fact.
It's a true fact as opposed to the half the ones you think you have.
I dislike that Tom insinuated that the thing about Gus and beautiful women wasn't honest.
You know, Iron, what is your actual position? Because I know that you think like this type of thing is kind of like degenerate, and you actually like have all these like values about sexuality and like what's degenerate and not. Do you actually think this is cool, or like I'm not interested in the debate team answer. I'm just answering it. I'm interested in what you actually think.
About what specifically? I'm sorry.
All right, never mind, Iron. Thank you very much, Iron. We're done. Thank you.
I just didn't know what you were asking about.
The JJ thing.
Iron just listens for keywords.
Oh, you mean the JJ thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever thing we're referring to, Iron.
Oh, I didn't know if he was talking about Gus's porn trivia or the JJ thing.
You thought I was asking you about Gus's.
Gus is an irrelevant boomer.
All right, man.
Why do you care about what Gus thinks?
Is it odd that with that PFP, I find Iron so much more tolerable?
No.
It's pretty adorable.
I like it. I like that PFP.
You know what? You're so contrarian, JJ, I swear to God, man.
Yes, we're talking about the JJ thing, Iron.
Because
Oh yeah, unironically, I think JJ was within his rights. It's like as long as he didn't push it and stalk her or whatever. I think she's just acting like a retard.
Well, what about her version where she said that she actually noticed that he was doing it and tried to get him to stop, but he didn't stop, so she had to leave the phone call?
Yeah, I don't believe her. I don't believe a girl that goes
But what
topless
about
and talks
that
about
version?
sex is
But
like
what
that.
about that version? But what about that?
Yeah, I just don't believe it.
But would you think that what he did was wrong?
right, but if it were true, you would find
Yeah, that would be
disagreeable.
creepy. I'd be like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
creepy behavior.
Yeah, so JJ is a creep. Thank you.
Yeah, we all knew it. I knew JJ was a creep from day one, man.
Day one,
man. That doesn't follow, Jovan.
I didn't say it did.
I was like right in the center of
So
when
you're
he was
just
hitting on
lying.
Agnes, man.
Where did I lie, JJ?
You said that I was a creep.
Oh, that's not a lie. I honestly believe
it
that.
is.
How's that a lie?
Well, it doesn't matter if you believe
Okay,
it.
explain to me how it's a lie, JJ.
You know it's not true.
Go ahead, explain to me how it's a lie.
Wait, it's not true.
Whether or not it's true is irrelevant to whether or not I'm lying, JJ.
I think you know that it's not true.
Oh, I absolutely, genuinely believe her.
Yeah, I think you're a creep,
Oh, JJ. I believe her 100%.
That's not wrong being a creep. Most of the people in this room are creeps. So, I mean, come on.
JJ, you've been constantly changing the story, constantly lying to us. We know that you constantly lie to us. Like you can't gaslight us, JJ.
You just can't follow what's going on, Joe.
You can't gaslight us, JJ. It doesn't work. We're immune.
Well, you find and document where I lied, where I changed.
See, JJ,
my
I would
story.
only do that if I thought I had to convince anybody, but I don't think there's anyone I needed to convince.
Right, you're
of
just
that.
going to
Everyone
continue
already knows
to
it.
lie.
No, the
gonna
point is that
continue to
everyone
be
knows it.
Dishonest. And see, that's gaslighting also. You're just the biggest piece of shit that's in here.
That's not gaslighting. What are you talking
I
about,
don't
JJ?
masturbate to women.
I
and
can
private
actually
phone calls.
document what a piece of shit you.
Well, JJ, where did he gaslight? I didn't see where he gaslighted.
Well, when he says that everybody knows something is a fact, that's gaslighting.
Well, you understand what Jovan's trying to say.
Do you
So
understand
I
what
mean,
I just said?
that's just being dishonest.
No, when he says everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. We're talking about the people who are actually in the, like me, Tom.
That's being
when he says everyone,
dishonest.
yeah, when he says
That's
everyone, he's referring.
gaslighting, Yuri.
Yeah, when he
This
says
is
everyone,
JJ
yeah, when he
and,
says everyone,
Deja
right,
vu.
he's just referring to. He's referring to me. He's referring to Tom. He's referring to Jovan. He's referring to Michael. He's referring to all the people, the main hitters in this room. Right.
He's saying that these people have this opinion.
Yeah, they do.
Right. So that's different than saying everybody knows.
Yeah, you're just being a dishonest piece of shit when you say that, Jovan. And you know what? I mean,
yeah,
not
everybody
Jovan,
knows what
JJ.
you're doing here, Yuri. Everybody knows
That's
what a piece of
gaslighting.
shit
No,
you
that's
are.
fucking gaslighting. That's
it's the same-
gaslighting right there.
Yeah, it's the same
Okay,
thing.
boys.
Exactly.
Brenda just joined the server. Brenda's here. Hold
Oh,
on.
Brenda.
It's not in voice yet. I gotta give her the role. Hold on a sec. What do I gotta give her? Boxed?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Box that bitch.
Yeah, Jovan is a real
I
piece
got
of
it.
shit.
No, she can be unboxed.
Jovan has been
Yeah,
lying.
she's unboxed.
It doesn't matter.
Forever.
I don't lie.
One of these days,
What's Jovan lying about?
one of these days, I'm actually gonna pop the evidence.
Pop it, please. Please.
Oh, it's the longer I let it go on.
Look,
the
that's the
better.
problem. You've already popped plenty of evidence. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, Jovan is a big fat liar.
About
Pop
what?
it, JJ. I want to see it. I want to see
Oh,
it.
this would go all the way back to.
You should give
when-
it to Tom so he can make one of those detective video. Well,
This would go
exposed videos.
This would go all the way back to when I had to ban you.
You had to ban me.
Mm-hmm.
The
You
psychosis
mean when
is
you unjustly banned me?
Mm-mm. No, I had to ban you because you avoided moderation. And you lied about that.
I'm feeling psychosis. JJ, stay with me.
I'm here. Like I said, I'm gonna save it till when I think the
Strong
time
with
is
this
right.
one is psychosis.
JJ.
It's just gonna be sweeter. I want you to be able to deny it more.
Fuck.
JJ, you sound insane right now.
You
What
sound
sounds insane?
You do sound kind of insane.
Yeah, strong with
what
this one
sounds
is
insane?
psychosis.
Saying that I'm saving something to spring on you?
Heretic is even saying you sound like Darth Dawkins right now.
Jesus. Well, I don't think Heretic knows the situation, but some people will know. Maybe there's not enough people in here that understand.
Saying that you have
what I'm talking
mannerisms
about.
similar to Darth Dawkins.
People have been saying that forever. Or at least that we sound alike. Speech manners. Oh, yeah. We might share some speech manners.
And I get so nervous when I go out in public, man. It's not even a joke.
Wait, Tom, you unironically believe that girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Why?
Yeah, why? Why is it crazy?
Didn't she say that she was like trying to get revenge on Agnes?
No.
That's burden.
You never said that.
Oh, the best thing I just was reminded that Declan was one of the people he banned for literally no reason.
Yeah, so Iron,
Literally.
there goes your,
That-
there
see,
goes
that
your
sounds
reason not to
insane.
believe her.
And everyone at the time knew that it was for no reason.
So when you
Actually,
say
what she said
you
is that
say-
she believed
Oh,
other people
you jump
over
on the-
Agnes because she thought Agnes had a torch to bear, or a reason to be trying to warn her off of JJ. And then she said, I realized Agnes was not lying, and Agnes was merely trying to warn me about JJ.
Yeah, nobody
Oh, is
knows
that what
if
she was
that's
saying?
even. Nobody knows if that's even true, or what.
JJ, that's amazing that you sit there with your dick on your hand, calling everyone else a liar.
Yeah,
Well,
what
all
about
I-
you
all I
makes your
said-
fucking word any more trustworthy?
All I said
No one
was.
trusts you anymore.
All I said was nobody knows. if that's
No,
true,
you
or what,
didn't.
or if
No, you
it's
didn't.
true, or if it's true, what the nature of that.
Now he's
warning.
gaslighting.
Oh,
this is
God.
gaslighting right here. If you want to talk
Oh,
about
shit.
gaslighting.
Or another word for it's called bullshitting. But
How is that even
Shit.
bullshitting? That's true. Do you know the
Yeah,
nature
gaslighting.
do you know the nature of it?
I
Do
know
you know
what
the
I
nature
know.
of it?
I know what everybody else here knows.
Well, I don't even know what that means.
That's
Uh,
Dionysus.
do you-
and
Well,
shit.
you were here for
Do
like
you
12 hours
know-
yesterday. I'm surprised you don't know what that means. But
Well, I bet a lot of people have different interpretations or heard different things. Yeah. But as far as what she said about Agnes sending her a message, some sort of warning, if she did, nobody here knows what the nature of it was. She didn't specify. She didn't make a claim about it.
She fucking did.
Oh, what did she say the warning was? What did she say the warning was, Molly?
You know,
I think it
JJ,
was a general warning, like, hey, don't get involved. This guy, he's gonna like, he's just like not a good dude, and he's gonna like fuck you over or something like that. It's like a creepy creep.
Maybe. I didn't hear her say that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Did anybody hear her say that? So anyway,
This is so ridiculous. We know that Jay's done this type of stuff in the past, and now it's like, you know, it's not
don't know.
probable for at the account that the
Yuri,
woman
what do
gave.
you think you know?
Dude, I was there. I was
Where?
there when you tried to hit on Agnes. I was there for the whole in Agnes' server when you kept going to Agnes' server, hitting it up on her. You know how I know? Because I was an admin in her server. Sorry, not an admin, a mod, right, in her server. This was
do you
like
know
all the
about
way
that?
back.
Yeah, you're,
What do I know
you're
about
probably
what,
the
JJ?
last one who
Whoa,
understands
that one
any
got
of that.
hit by a car.
Yeah, you should probably
Jesus.
pay attention.
I am paying attention. That guy wasn't paying attention. He almost backed up. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he just stopped in the middle of the street and then
Alright,
backed the fuck
okay,
up.
Yuri, this is
But yeah.
yeah. These are not the content we've been looking for.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that, Tom.
This is
Yeah,
this
but
is
don't let
far
JJ
beyond,
run away.
Far beyond Yuri's understanding.
Don't let JJ run away. He knows exactly what I'm talking about, and now he's just trying to use psychosis to like avoid. Come on, Jovan, Tom, you guys are going to deny that he was trying to hit on Agnes?
No, I don't even think anyone suggested that.
it doesn't really
No.
prove much. But
No, all I'm saying is that JJ's trying to make it seem
Yuri,
like
he
it's
did
all-
more than hit on Agnes. I mean,
Right, no, I
that's
understand that, but I'm just saying that JJ's trying to make it seem like it's all improbable and stuff like that, but we're coming to the conclusion the woman's account is true, right? And I'm saying we already have past experience with JJ doing this type of shit, right? That's all I'm saying. And then JJ wants to deny that the Agnes thing as well.
Yeah, but Yuri, we have past experience of JJ getting into like a full-on online relationship with the girl in question that you're referring to, and then like cybering with her and stuff. So like that would also go against this person's account that JJ was like creeping on her in an unsolicited way.
because it gets
I don't know
worked
why
eventually. right?
that wouldn't because we can create another hypothesis, right, in which it states
Yeah,
that
go ahead and hypothesize some more, Yuri.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we can. The woman's account that wouldn't falsify or show the improbability of that woman's account, right? Because we do have a history of JJ cybering with people, right? And so it's not unreasonable for us to think that JJ attempted
Why do you
to do
think
like
you
he
have
always
any
does.
history? Why do you think you
It's
have any
not-
knowledge of that?
Don't overtalk me.
Why do you
So,
think you
look.
have any knowledge of that?
So look,
Right,
right, that
that's what
JJ
I
has
thought.
attempted to cyber with women. We've already known that JJ's attempted to cyber
How
with
do you
women.
know
right?
any of that? How do you know any of that?
Look, that's just irrelevant, right?
Oh, what you know is
so
irrelevant.
I don't know why you keep trying to overtalk me, JJ. I don't know
I
why.
don't know
I'm
why
just
you're
gonna keep
talking
repeating
about
myself.
this if what you know is irrelevant. Or what you think
I
you
never
know is
said-
irrelevant.
I never said what I know was irrelevant. I said your question was irrelevant.
Oh, you mean you
Yeah,
knowing
but-
something is not relevant?
Yeah, so,
Do you know anything?
Jovan, you see this type of shit, man?
What do you think you know, Yuri?
Jovan, you hearing this, man?
You're just talking out your ass, Yuri.
He's going full Darth Dawkins.
You know
Yeah.
fuck all about the topic.
Yeah, so now we have
Fuck
JJ.
all.
Now we can see that
Fuck
JJ's
all.
getting very.
This
Yeah, he's
this clown is running their mouth
right.
when they know
Are you
fuck all about the topic.
Right. Yeah. So what JJ is failing to understand, right? That,
Yes, tell us.
Well, I will falsify his account, right? Because it actually might even show that what the woman said is more probable, right? Since we already know that JJ has attempted to cyber with people many times, and so if he tried to cyber with this girl like he's done with others in the past, it would. Well, just trying to cyber with the girl, and that the woman might not, since she already had a boyfriend, right, would deny that, and JJ not giving a fuck, right, we just continue on. There's no reason why we should think that the woman's account is any less more probable just because the fact has been brought to us that JJ has cybered with women in the past, right? So I don't see why Iron brought that up and why that would have any relevance to what's being discussed or in any way try to falsify the woman's account. I don't see how it falsifies it. But maybe someone else here, right, can explain to me.
I don't think I made the
how
claim that
falsifies the
falsifies
account.
it, right? I'm just saying that it opens up the opportunity of her basically telling a lie, right? Like just having some form of regret, being upset, etc., etc.
Yeah, but why would we think that? Why would we think that, though?
Some of us are old enough to have a history of basically dealing with women and understanding them. So we
Well,
come
I
to the
deal with
attempt-
women every single day. I deal with women all the time, and I probably fuck more than you.
Yeah, but
right?
you're like 17 years old, right?
How many of them? How many have had real pretty long hair, Yuri? How many?
Yeah, still.
And many times 0 is still 0.
Yeah, I don't see how that's relevant either way. That's just like, I don't know what that's trying to gain at all. But I'm curious, maybe I can appeal to Tom and Jovan, right? Jovan, do you understand what Iron said? Why that would, Iron made the claim that that would just show, because they have more experience with women, right? That women would try to feel bad or sorry about that, and then try to blame it on the person they were doing it with, right? Do you understand why that would show how it's improbable in any way, Jovan or Tom? Since they don't want to hear from me, since I don't have experience with this type of stuff. Obviously, you guys do. So do you understand what Iron's saying?
I'm looking through snippets right now.
I'm not sure anybody understands what you're saying, Yuri. That's if they're listening.
Yeah, they probably did.
I think what he's trying to say is that she had prior knowledge when she cybered you that of supposedly these what you do.
Is that what you were saying here?
Y'all are making me miss my ice cream social, by the way.
No one's stopping you. I don't think most people want to talk about this anymore either. So.
Not really.
I serve at the pleasure of the king.
Yeah, but JJ has successfully again, and the reason why I couldn't get my point out more eloquently, I'm sorry about that, guys, is because JJ does a really good job of over talking and gaslighting. So I wasn't able to, especially since I'm doing multiple things at once, I can't really focus on what I'm trying to say. So I'm sorry about that. If it came out all stuttered.
You're gonna blame me for your stuttering?
Yeah, because you kept over talking and bringing up irrelevant questions. Well, not the stuttering, right? Not the stuttering per se, but the fact that I couldn't get out
My irrelevant question of questioning your claims of knowledge.
Yeah,
and
we already
exaggeration.
went over those. We already went over those. Yeah, we already went over those, so I don't feel like why I have to repeat myself again, right? If you weren't paying attention, especially since I'm trying to get out a particular point, right? You could have asked that question after I was done with my dissertation.
There was no reason to.
Why not?
But you'll notice that I did relent and let you get it out while you stuttered.
Right, yeah. And that took up a lot of time, and you could have just done that in
Yeah,
the beginning.
I gave up bringing up the relevant point that you don't know fuck all about what you're talking about.
Well, what would make you come to that conclusion, since I already went over the reasons, and we also have multiple witnesses in the room, right, who can attest to this, why my knowledge claim would not actually be a knowledge claim. What's the claim, sorry?
That there are multiple witnesses that can attest to your knowledge.
Well, we can demonstrate that claim, right? I don't know why you're trying to be so stubborn in which you want to demonstrate.
Go ahead.
Such a, yeah, we have Iron, we have Molly, we have Tom, we have Jovan.
That can attest to what? That can attest to what?
That you cybered with Agnes and various other women. Sorry.
How do they know that?
That's just irrelevant.
Well, it calls into question whether or not they do know it.
Sorry, dumbass. Sorry,
it
dumbass.
calls into
right?
question
sorry,
whether or not
dumbass.
they do know it.
Sorry, dumbass. Sorry, dumbass. Don't overtalk me, right?
Well, you should be more. You should be more sorry, Yuri.
Yeah, sorry. Don't.
You're just making
dumbass.
more
sorry,
claims.
Dumbass. Don't.
Now you're just making
me.
claims of what other people know, without substantiating whether or not they actually know these things.
Well, yeah, just mute him, right? Because I was talking first. So look,
you're just floundering, Yuri.
Look, the claim that he originally made, right, was that the claim that he challenged me on, right, was that there weren't multiple witnesses in the room, right? But I just demonstrated that claim by providing multiple witnesses who have come forward and said that they have witnessed what I'm referring to, right? But he
you haven't substantiated that.
He wanted to move the goalpost and move the goalpost to a different claim, right? After I already addressed the claim he challenged, right? So I don't understand what he's talking about or what he's referring to, since I've already justified my half of the claim.
You think saying people's names justifies your claim?
Yeah, when you challenge the claim that I made regarding there being witnesses who have said that they've witnessed what I've been referring to, yeah.
Have any of those people witnessed, what was it, Agnes and I cybering? How could you possibly think that, Yuri?
How could I possibly think what?
That any of those people you named witnessed Agnes and I cybering.
So we have Tom, like I said, we have Jovan, we have
You're
Molly.
just saying names again.
Yeah, but they've all independent of me stepped forward. They've all stepped forward, so you can take it up with them,
and said
right?
that they witnessed Agnes and I cybering.
Yeah, they've witnessed the relationship, right? And then they've also witnessed Agnes's account, right, of you cybering in the various pictures and the various instances, right?
What various pictures? What various pictures?
The nudes, JJ.
What nudes?
Being in the cyber.
What nudes?
The nudes
Jesus
that Agnes
Christ,
sent
Yuri.
Yeah, the news that Agnes sent him, and that got doxxed by Shamos, right? Because Shamos happened to be in the video call with you.
No, you're confused.
You're just making up crazy things now. What are you talking about?
This is really bad, Yuri. You should maybe let the adults work on this.
The Agnes nudes were given to Shamos by Agnes's disgruntled ex-boyfriend, who was affiliated with the community for some reason.
Well, that's not. Well, he was also in the. That's not the way I remember that part. No, I remember.
Well,
that
you're just
part.
wrong.
But I know that JJ and Shamos and him were also in a private call with Agnes at one point too.
I don't think it was Shamos. I think what you're thinking of was the call with Kathleen, Agnes, and JJ. And then I believe Layla says she went in, and that's when Agnes was supposedly topless. Kat sent me an invite, and I walked in. I didn't walk in, but went in, and all I saw was JJ sitting in a chair in a t-shirt and boxers. Agnes was drunk off her shit, half naked, and I said, "Yeah,
okay, cool.
This is enough for me."
Molly. Thank you, Molly. Yeah, that works for me, and that's good enough, right? So we've already had Molly who came in and witnessed that we have cybered with her.
No, it doesn't justify the claim that we cybered.
Wait, you don't think getting in a video call with you together with Agnes is cybering? Or group cybering, it doesn't matter? Well, what do you take cybering to be?
I don't know. You're using the word.
Oh my god. So you wait. So you don't have any idea of what cybering means, JJ?
Well, I have some
So
idea.
if you don't have any issue,
But what you're
if
describing.
you reject my notion of how I use the word cyber, right? And that means you have to have some other definition that you're using, right? To say that my definition doesn't fit the scenario, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I could describe it. I could describe it, but that's irrelevant.
well,
I
that's
can
what I
actually
asked,
just
so
I can just talk about what the
So,
actual
JJ,
situation was.
So JJ, what do you take cybering to be?
Which was just a group call.
Yeah, JJ, what do you take cybering to be, dumbass? Answer the question.
Which was just a group call.
What do you take cybering to be?
I assume it's when two people are naked, or two or more. I guess. I and probably touch themselves.
Yeah, but look, dumbass, we already admitted that Agnes was naked within that call, and it was you in that call. So I don't see. So you agree with me now, right? That it was cybering.
No, I wasn't naked. I wasn't even in boxers. I was certainly wearing clothes.
Sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel
about that.
comfortable hanging around in just underwear.
So sorry about that, guys. So sorry.
Yeah, stop saying sorry and start fucking stopping the fucking thing that makes you say sorry in the first place. What do you...
No, I'm just. I'll get all. I'm just in the busy part right now, so I'll just mute while I'm in this.
Good idea.
That's right, Yuri. Ran away.
Yeah, but.
Oh, come on.
Or maybe she just doesn't care.
Yeah, maybe. She's a good moralizer. For Yuri. I admire Yuri's gumption.
No, that wasn't.
I really do.
No, that wasn't me. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't me. Who was making that noise? That was some like idiot who had like some tuner faggot car or straight pipe.
We know, Yuri.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. Eventually, Yuri, people get sick of hearing sorry. Just stop.
Wait, what am I doing?
Stop doing things that you have to apologize for.
Oh, okay.
Well, she was here, and then was it Bent? No, Johnny. Johnny posted it while she was talking, and she left like mid-sentence. She was very...
Gotta love guys like Johnny. I never saw a sideline they couldn't take a swing from.
So it's like, so a couple of people got under your skin and you just kind of pushed all your buttons and, just let it go.
Thank God for push to talk.
I don't either. I don't leave any servers unless you need to make room for a new one.
Well, I don't know. I don't want a whole shit ton of servers that there's never fucking anything in.
That I understand.
You usually only leave a server because you want someone to notice that you've left the server.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Exactly.
And they probably, and then they probably have an alternate.
I think I left.
Oh,
I
always.
left this server one time. I think.
I think that was 2 times, right? Because I think I made you leave Godless' server, actually.
I did leave Godless' server.
I think I wrecked JJ that day or something.
That never happened.
Actually, sometimes it's easier to just leave the server so you're less apt to click on it when you just need a break. It's like,
That's true.
just need a break, so just gonna
Kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
exactly make the fantastical claim of "fuck you all, I'm leaving the server, never coming back again." Now, those are the ones who are silly. But just to quietly just go, gonna disconnect for a bit.
Well, I just find it stupid that Brenda always calls us a piece of shits, and she just comes back every single time.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit of hyperbole. Yuri's left the server I don't know how many times.
No, I haven't left the server that much.
I've lost count, though.
I think I've only left the server like 4 times, I think. But those were for like different reasons. The first time I did it, I accidentally hit the leave server button. And how that happened was
People's behavior
how that
changes when you
happened.
leave the server.
Yeah, what would you say?
I said people's behavior changes when you leave a server.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in a different server at the time.
What is that? What do you mean it changes?
It's like if you had the chance to fake your own death and you could see people at your funeral, like what they really thought of you and stuff like that. That's something that typically happens when you leave a server.
Only if you're a dick and people talk shit about you when you're gone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody here is going to tell you exactly the same thing they'd say when you're gone to your face.
No, that's not true. I mean, there are people that do that, but there's a lot that don't.
Iron, you're a piece of shit. What do you want?
I'm glad you finally let that out.
What makes you say that?
I think I agree with Tom that he's gonna get everything sorted and then come back and gloat about it. And I think that's at least one motivation.
Yeah, but what he doesn't understand is we're just going to pick apart all the times he was vulnerable.
Yeah.
What do you...
Oh, that's for fucking sure.
That's true.
Plus, it depends on how strong he gets, right? Like how everything's sorted. If he won like the Powerball and he's like a multimillionaire and he came back and you guys were like, "Remember when you couldn't buy a pizza?" Obviously, that wouldn't hurt his feelings, right?
If he won the Powerball, he'd buy Discord and make everybody come into a room that was like only his server, and he'd demand like tribute and accolades and stuff, and people like you would be kicked out forever.
Hmm. You think he's Arthur now?
Who, Dio?
I thought he said his name wasn't Arthur. He didn't change it to that.
Well, it was. He hadn't changed his name last time we talked, but the word was that he was going to change his name to Arthur.
Adolf
Which,
something?
which that would be an improvement, I think.
I kind of liked Rustin.
Yeah, I think it's not as good as
Kant?
Arthur. Arthur Kant.
Arthur Kant. Adolf Kant Nietzsche.
Don't forget the Schopenhauer.
Emmanuel Schopenhauer. Emmanuel, that's too much of a name. I've known a few Emmanuels though.
Adolf Kant.
Arthur Big Swinging Gorilla Dick Schopenhauer Hitler.
Remember when Dio had that whole fuss about Gerda? Or Gertha, or whatever how you pronounce his name?
I swear to God, Yuri, if you're not at your house, I'm going to send you a punchagram.
Who the fuck else did he like? Schopenhauer. Skinner, I guess. I guess Skinner.
Who wrote the bell curve?
Murray. Who wrote the bell curve? Who? This is some Murray guy. I don't remember his first name. RDH. DL Murray. I don't know. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Charles Murray, I think.
That sounds right.
I found the timestamp earlier from when Sugar said he records himself having sex with girls without them.
Who?
Sugar.
Oh, he's all bent about that. I allegedly said it. I didn't say it.
I have the timestamp saved.
Brilliant.
It's fucking
Perhaps
hilarious.
he meditated that memory away. Maybe.
If you listen to the full context, like 10 minutes later, he then tries to walk it back saying like, well, I never did it, but you know, everyone.
What? Everyone does it.
And then he starts talking about how he would sue anyone that would try and that would use it as slander against him, and
I'd be interested to see how he reacted to that.
The Darth Dawkins approach.
He said everybody does what?
the whole recording girls while you're having sex with them, possibly
that.
without their.
Yeah. We did talk about that the other night because I was thinking about that. Inevitably, if you go to Pornhub or any of these other sites, there's videos of, allegedly hidden camera. I recorded my girlfriend without her knowing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Those were, if true, acquired illegally, right? Although somebody said that it varies from state to state, maybe. But at least in some states it's illegal. Should you click on those?
Is that technically revenge porn?
That's in some states, at least, I think.
Because
I
I
mean,
guess technically you could secretly video your girlfriend and then tell her later and then post it on the internet.
or you can just pretend it's secret.
Exactly.
I don't know. But but on the outside chance that it was acquired illegally, that it was illegal to do this in that state, should you just not click on it? If you do, are you condoning such an act?
No, I wouldn't say you're condoning.
If you're getting
All I
off
know is
it, yes.
all I know is I'm not clicking it unless it's good. Or I mean, I'm not gonna.
How do you know it's not good
Yeah,
until
right.
you
You gotta
click on it?
You gotta click it first. I'm just saying I'm not gonna
Give me
watch
some
it unless
decent
it.
porn, don't waste my time.
Do you like
No,
skip through it?
you can mouse
and then
over
go back?
most porn without clicking it and see like a few frames of it to determine if it's gonna be at least okay.
Right, you gotta click it first though, and then.
You gotta skip
Oh
through
my!
it.
I see what you're saying. The GIF.
Yeah,
like
the
thing.
preview mouse over. Not that I know anything about this, and pornography is bad.
Right. The thumbnail GIF
Oh,
thing.
you gotta be a real boomer if you didn't figure that out. I mean, I think X videos and Pornhub both have that feature.
Here come the boomer memes.
Oh, is that a big thing, Brian? That guys claiming that they're fucking their stepmom?
Yeah.
I'm just reading it off the text.
Incest porn is a big thing. At least where I live.
Yeah, it's a very popular genre, and I will admit I've been entertained by it.
I mean, is it?
I mean, it's never real. It's just pretending.
Is it illegal or wrong, even, to look at the nudes of Jennifer Lawrence that were hacked off the internet, stolen, essentially?
It's not illegal, but it's immoral.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Well, there you have it.
I did look though. I have to.
Oh, you terrible person.
I saw all of those stolen when they came out. I don't remember why I decided to look, but I did. And there's like all kinds of people
Curiosity is a
doing all
bitch,
kinds of.
that's why.
It is. I am far too.
Yeah.
And then everyone made the moral argument why you shouldn't do that, and then I felt like a big shitbag afterwards.
Oh, did they? I
Pretty
missed
much.
all that.
Oh,
I'm
not
just
here.
getting to it
Just
now.
in life. Just what was going on.
That's what I mean. I'm just getting to that part now.
Dude, that's why you don't have nudes out there, man. Don't. If you ever want to have any kind of career life, no nudes.
Well, yeah, I don't know if any of those even hurt those people. If they're, I mean, it seems like that,
can
or
ruin
maybe it was something before
reputations.
that led to people doing them on purpose, leaking them on purpose, even producing them.
Yeah, but Photoshop's really good these days. I would just claim it would be Photoshop.
Well, have you seen the deep fake videos?
Yeah,
Jesus,
you could definitely get away with saying that these days and it being believable.
those have gotten good.
Do they cause harm?
Well, being
Brenda,
a
it's hard to-
boomer back in my day, that unless you wanted one of those really bad photoshops, yeah, it just was not. I watched too many people, especially in the military, women trying to advance and whatnot, and yeah, that is a showstopper.
Your mic is really low, Brenda. Like, can't even hear you.
What? Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, Brenda.
There you are. A little bit higher.
Yeah, I had it muted.
Oh, it might have been on push to talk because you were lighting up, but no sound was coming.
No, it was not. That's not it.
Brenda, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yo, hey Brenda, what's up? What's up, Brenda? How are
Hi,
you?
Yuri, shut up.
Hey Yuri, you got an
Fucking
answer
hell,
to any of my
Yuri.
questions? You got an answer to any of my questions lately, Yuri? Because you ran off the last time.
Are you sick, Brenda?
Wait, I thought I answered your question though. Hold on, I need to stop and get off my bike for this one. I'm going to stop right here so we can have this conversation.
Oh, now you'll stop.
Now you'll stop?
Yeah, I'm off the bike right now. So yeah.
Really?
What question didn't I answer?
I don't even remember at this point. It was basically what the fuck was it?
Oh, wait. So how do you? If you don't know the questions, how do you know I didn't answer them?
Because I have a mental note that you didn't reply.
Oh, I see. I have a mental note, but I did reply. So who's right?
Oh God.
There's no objective fact of the matter.
Right. I didn't claim there was.
That's it, Yuri. Brass it out like nobody's gonna know the fucking difference.
Okay, I was just pulling up. I didn't want to be in front of someone's driveway. Hold on. Actually, let me pull down here real quick. I'll be muted just.
How much cocaine did you fucking take before you went out tonight?
You've been biking.
At least 5.
Was it about the physicalism?
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, had to stop. Actually, I can go to push to talk now, since I'm just gonna be chilling right here on my bike. Hold on.
Yeah, Yuri, why can't
Hey, Yuri.
tornadoes have beliefs?
I can tell that you're not going to be chill right now. So bring it down a notch already. Because I can
Molly,
already
I'm
tell.
super chill right now. That's the adrenaline.
No. I can already tell by your voice you're getting ready to just spuggy out.
Is
What do you think about Tom? What do you think about this, man? Do you think about the Spur guy?
So what do you think is wrong with somebody
Well, it's
holding?
likely. Sorry.
What do you think is
Brenda.
wrong with somebody
I'm
holding?
just gonna lower JJ down to 7% if I'm gonna have this
Don't
conversation.
do a Pogan thing. Come on, Yuri.
I'm not
You know
gonna
me.
do a, I'm not gonna,
It's like
I'm
a
not gonna do
literal
a
quote. It's
I'm
a
not
literal
gonna.
quote
No,
from
I'm not
Pogan.
gonna do a Pogan thing. It's just that I think everyone here, JJ tends to scream, and I don't want to hear JJ screaming since I have him at 200%. So I'm just gonna lower him down. I'll still be able to hear him and answer his questions. Just I don't want to hear those screams since JJ is unpredictable.
Are you gonna scream, Yuri?
Oh, you can tell he's going to. He got off his bike
No,
thinking
I swear.
absolutely
I
flip.
swear. I
Are you-
swear. I swear I'm not going to.
What if you do, Yuri?
What?
What if
Yeah.
you
So
do
Brenda,
scream?
what question didn't I answer? Sorry.
What if you do scream, Yuri? Especially having sworn that you won't.
And he gets electric with wet noodle.
No, I think that I should kick my heels together or something.
No, let me ask you this, Yuri. Are you going to be able to maintain a conversation without going after the personal attacks and digs, which is your status quo?
That just depends if Brenda starts it first, but I'm going to try to be as diligent as possible.
I've never seen Brenda go after personal things. You always start it.
Oh,
What?
that's not true.
That's false.
Not true,
I don't know. That's
Molly.
just dishonest. That's dishonest right there. But we'll leave that aside.
Okay, we'll leave it aside for now. You proved me wrong, and I will
Yeah,
admit
sure.
it.
Hold on real quick. Just for one. Let me just mute one more.
What's Yuri proving Molly wrong on?
That he's not going to start with personal attacks and get all spurgy with Brenda.
Sounds like bedtime, Molly.
I know, I'm like in a fucking near coma.
Jesus. You're making
Apologies.
me tired.
I apologize.
Well, I guess.
No, you're fine, honey.
I guess nothing's going to happen then, right?
It's been a long day, Molly.
Yeah, plus it's been 100 plus up here. Ugh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been horrible today.
Molly, I think I would just drop dead if I ever wound up in that.
We're just waiting for Yuri.
Yeah, Brenda, they're waiting for Yuri. He's
I'm good. I'm good. I'm back. I'm back.
You have
I'm
air
back.
conditioning, don't you, Molly?
well, yeah.
Okay. You just stay safe in that heat, honey. That's bad.
Oh, I will. Thank you. Well, thank you. Okay, go ahead. You're on.
Yuri's
Well,
on.
I don't know where to begin if Brenda doesn't provide the
Well,
questions that I didn't
well,
answer.
Where to begin is I don't think that I have any positions that are radical or even terribly controversial.
That doesn't sound interesting to me.
I'm a realist. I'm a naturalist, a physicalist, and
A realist in
that-
reference to what?
scientific realism.
Oh,
so
okay.
I also think that I hold standard views on most normal things. It's a wide variety of things. I don't know if I could list them all, and I think that very few of my views are controversial really at all. It's just controversial to you, and we can't seem to have a conversation without you spurging out.
I don't think they're controversial. I think most philosophers hold to physicalism. So
Yeah.
Or
So
yeah, so I don't
what's the
think they're
problem?
controversial.
So then why freak out?
I
when
don't
bring
I
it
don't
up?
I don't freak out. But I just think that I don't judge what views are correct, right, based off what's controversial and non-controversial, right? I just take them. I just evaluate them based off their coherency.
Well, sure. That's of course the reasonable thing to do.
Right. So I'm not seeing the problem, right?
Well, the problem is that it seems to me to be typified as if I hold bizarre views, which
Well, I'm not saying you
is
hold
not the
bizarre
case.
views. I've already acknowledged that, Brenda, that most philosophers hold to physicalism.
Yeah,
Now, I'm not sure
yeah.
about scientific realism, but I used to be a scientific realist.
Well, it sort of depends on what we mean by that.
Right.
I think that the theory, our theories about reality, pick out objective features of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would call something.
That's not sufficient to be a scientific realist, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
Josh,
I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, so I
No,
just
they
don't
think
see.
that scientific realists think that the postulates of our best scientific theories actually pick out real things in the world, like so.
Just what I just said that.
No, because
I literally just said that. Almost word for word.
What I think is relevant is that I said the postulates of our best scientific theories, which is not something that you added, because you can have a competing scientific theory that predicts all the same phenomena, but doesn't have the same postulates. So an anti-realist is going to say, well, there's no fact of the matter there. And a realist is going to say there is a fact of the matter there. So that's what I'm saying, because it's like there's a really complicated. There's like one of the examples is the inverted Earth hypothesis, where everything is actually contained inside the Earth, and there's a lot of really complicated mathematics that go into explaining why things appear the way they appear, and et cetera, right? But the thesis is that the Earth is actually an inverted sphere, and everything is contained within the Earth. And so you can have different physics and stuff like that. Now the instrumentalist is going to say, well, there's no fact of the matter about which is true, whether we're actually on a ball or not. He's going to countenance everything in terms of the best, in terms of the predictions that are generated. So if the two hypotheses generate the same predictions, to the instrumentalist, they're the same thing. To the scientific realist, they're different.
Yeah, I would qualify, hollow Earth theory as pseudoscience. It isn't on the same level as actual science, so it doesn't even qualify as an alternate.
Well, what you're saying there is it would have to generate different predictive expectations, right?
Yeah, I think that there
Which is
probably
No,
are different predictions that could be different.
I think the point is
picked out differently.
the point is that it's similar to mathematical isomorphisms, right? Which is not an empirical thing. And so the whole point is that you can construct a very complicated way of speaking about things such that it posits an Earth which is in fact hollow, but makes all the same predictions as the spherical Earth. And so,
Yeah, except it doesn't. That's the point.
well, that's just a claim.
Yeah, I know. There's facts that the hollow Earth belief could not explain.
Again, that's just
What are
that's
those
just a
facts?
claim.
Yeah, like seismic measurements, seismic analysis. Seismic analysis conclusively proves that the Earth is a globe and not
I mean, this
not a
is just
cell Earth, not a cell Earth, and not any other shape. The Earth must be a globe.
this is just another one of those cases in which you don't know anything about the theory that you're criticizing, but you
No,
decide
I
to
actually
criticize
do.
it anyway.
I know I don't have to know crackpot theories in order to refute them. I just have to know
You have,
the facts.
yes, you do. You have to
No,
know.
I don't.
You have to know what the theories predict.
No, I
You
don't
have to know
know.
what theories predict in order to falsify them.
No, I don't
Otherwise,
have.
you wouldn't know whether or not they were falsified.
I don't have to know the infinite number of theories that are wrong in order to show what is most likely true.
Wait, so then how do you know if they're wrong or not?
Yeah, you can't.
Because I can eliminate them.
Yeah, that's just begging the
You
question.
can't if you don't know what predictions they make. They have to make the predictions in order for you to eliminate them. But if you don't know whether or not they make those predictions, then you can't rule them out.
Oh yeah, I only have to know it so well. I guess I get what you're meaning there. I have to know it well enough, but I don't have to have a thorough. I don't have to know everything about astrology to know that astrology is pseudoscience. Right? That makes sense. That makes sense. Isn't that a sensible way of going about it?
But the point is that there's mathematically isomorphic versions of the hollow Earth hypothesis that don't generate different predictions, right? That was the point.
I'm not talking about that.
Well, that's what Josh was talking about.
No, here you go. Here you go. This is a model of the Earth. This
conversation got
this does not have this. This shows that the Earth must be a globe. It cannot be cell Earth because this cannot obtain under the cell Earth or hollow Earth theory, and so the cell Earth theory is debunked.
Josh, did I misunderstand what you were saying?
There you go. Right there. This is simple, right? We can model how waves, S waves and P waves propagate through the Earth, through the core, the outer core.
Josh, were you
and the
talking
mantle.
about?
And the measurements line up with the predictions.
Josh, are you there?
Josh, were you talking about the versions of the hollow Earth hypothesis that are isomorphic?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said several times. I mean,
yeah. So that's you're going to need, if it doesn't make different predictions, I don't understand how you're going to falsify.
Well, if there's no actual difference, then it's not really a different theory.
right. That's the instrumentalist position. That's not scientific realist position.
I'm an instrumentalist, by the way, Brenda, just to be clear. It's the same view that Stephen Hawking
doesn't even seem like it's possible for them to make the same predictions.
No, you're right. It's not. I just put up an image that shows that conclusively refutes the cell Earth theory. Right there. We're done.
Yeah, but I think the claim was addressing that you're a scientific realist or something like that. And then Josh pointed out that you're actually an instrumentalist.
What hollow Earth hypothesis would make the same predictions that the Earth is like full of the mantle and stuff, and that you can like go through it, or that you can't dig through it, or whatever? Like,
Is there
it just doesn't make sense.
White iron is being allowed to talk?
Obviously, they make different predictions if you think one is full of material.
Like,
and
is there
you
a
think the other
way?
isn't full
Is
of
there
material.
somebody who could? Is there somebody who can mute him?
Jovan, are you there?
Why would you mute me just for participating in the conversation?
It doesn't seem
Yeah, I mean,
right
it
to
doesn't
me.
really matter. it doesn't really matter if they think that the differences between theories are countenanced in virtue of the predictions that they make, then that's just instrumentalism. So it doesn't seem like there's a disagreement anyway.
I don't think underdetermination really refutes scientific realism, does it?
Well, like I said, I mean, it's just that's the standard objection. Scientific underdetermination is a standard objection to scientific realism. So, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not a problem with being an instrumentalist, Brenda.
No,
I
but
think I'm an I'm an
so
instrumentalist. Jack's an instrumentalist.
So you think that it's realistic that the engine in your car is actually fueled by blue fairies? They just happen to look like engine parts, but they're actually blue fairies.
If the theory doesn't generate, if those two theories don't generate different predictions, then my position is that there's no fact of the matter.
I don't see the force of that. I don't see how that follows.
So then you're not saying that you agree that if two theories make the same predictions, they are the same theory.
Well, I don't see the inference.
That's the instrumentalist. So let's just get clear. What we heard you say
I was talking to Yuri, and apparently, Yuri's,
Well, after Jack finishes his sentence, real quick, we'll continue our conversation.
Yeah, what I heard Brenda say was that if it makes all the same predictions, it's not a different theory, right? That's the instrumentalist view. So, are you saying that you don't actually hold that view? You were mistaken when you endorsed that, or not?
Someone dying in the background?
She left. She left. She left.
Is there an example of
She
two different
left.
theories making all the same predictions but having like a different structure? I can't think of an example off the top of my head, and it seems incoherent.
Why did other people have to get involved in the convo? It was Brenda Yuri. What's up?
Because they're mentally ill and they're upset at her for not engaging in communism, so they're just coming to troll her. She's like the new Didi.
Wait a minute. I thought that Iron was one of the people who participated in the conversation.
Yes.
So is he saying that he's mentally ill?
Yes.
No, I'm saying the people that were motivated by trolling Brenda and engaged
I thought
in
Iron
disrupting
was
behavior
asked
were
why
mentally ill.
people. I thought Iron was asked why people were getting involved in a conversation between Brenda and Yuri, right? Which is to say, a conversation that didn't include Iron, and his answer was to say because those people are mentally ill. So I take it that
Yeah,
Iron
because
is
I
saying
took that to
he's
mean
mentally.
that they were.
I take it that Iron.
they were
I
making
take it that.
clean
I take it
interruption
that.
and not
I
just
take
not
it
paying
that.
comment.
I take it that. I take it that Iron.
Shut up,
is
Yuri.
saying. I
No,
take
I
it
can
that
say what the
Iron.
fuck I want, motherfucker. No, don't
Yeah, you
overtalk
can
Jack,
cry all you want, Yuri. I
dumbass.
don't care.
Yeah,
take
don't
it
overtalk
that-
Jack, dumbass.
You're over talking, Yuri.
Well, actually,
go
Iron
ahead,
was
Jack.
Iron was over talking JJ. I take it
Right,
that.
but Yuri was over talking also.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, Jack.
you should prevent Iron from over talking. So I take it that Iron is saying that he's mentally ill, right? That's what would
No.
follow, right?
No, I
Yeah,
take
follow
it that what she was referring to were that were
I
people that
wasn't
are making a
asking you.
sustained
I
interruption.
wasn't
Well,
asking
listen,
you.
I'm in the middle of talking, so it doesn't matter whether you're talking to me. We're taking turns, right?
you.
It doesn't matter whether you're talking to me. I'm taking my
He wasn't
opportunity to
asking you,
speak now that
dumbass.
there's a gap in
Now,
the
Jack,
conversation.
can you state who you were talking to?
Well, I was asking other people.
Right, and like I
Seems
said,
like
I agree
Iron.
with you, Jack.
It seems like Iron has a pathological need to respond to like anything that involves his name.
Well, he's just
Yeah.
a whiner, right?
No,
it's
it
what we would
wasn't-
expect
no,
from a whiner.
It didn't involve his name, right? He had to pathologically interfere in the conversation because he's mentally ill, right? That's tautological,
okay,
right?
no.
If it's
Yeah, that would be tautological.
but Iron seems to agree that he's mentally ill.
No, that's just not what I meant.
Wait, is Iron trying to weigh in that he's not mentally ill?
Iron is
Why
saying
would
that
that-
he didn't say he was mentally ill, but he's not taking a stance as to whether or not he's mentally ill.
No, but he said that the people who did this were mentally ill, and he was one of those people.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
just
then he did
that's
take a
just
stance. Yeah, he would.
Wait,
He
is
just misunderstand what I was claiming.
is Iron trying to backpedal now?
No, you're just incorrectly
Wait, no,
understanding what I was saying.
I wasn't asking you.
Okay,
I'm
well,
getting the kind of
what I
feeling,
mean,
Jack,
to
that
say
he is
that
trying to backpedal.
Jack is simply
So wait,
misunderstanding what I was saying.
is he realizing that he was so stupid? That he was so stupid as to say that the people who interfered in the conversation were mentally ill, that he didn't realize he was including himself. Would that surprise you, Socrates? Because Iron is pretty fucking stupid in addition to being mentally ill, apparently, right?
See, this is the behavior I was talking
That's
about
the
last
kind of
night.
inference.
People who are unwilling to get into the ring and actually hash things out with people just sit on the sidelines and talk shit. This is the exact behavior that I was talking about.
Just a minute.
No, I'm not over
Yeah, I was
talking. I was taking the opportunity and the gap to move. Because if somebody's talking about me, then I get to speak.
I was talking to Socrates.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, would you say that Iron was too stupid or too mentally ill or both to realize what a stupid thing it was to say that the people who interfered in the conversation were mentally ill when he was one of those people?
Some people might say that it's a characteristically Iron thing to do. So I think I would agree with that.
Yeah, but he could be characteristically stupid and characteristically mentally ill.
Yeah, no, those are compatible. I think
I would agree.
yeah, those are very compatible, and I think Iron not making the inference that he's including himself in some category that he's disparaging is something that Iron does almost regularly.
But
You guys have just invented a meaning for something.
Just a minute. I wanted to hear what Josh had to say.
This has just devolved into like a circle
Just
jerk.
a minute, Iron. I wanted to hear what Josh had.
But the thing is that if Iron doesn't think that there could be different scientific theories or something that would, the only thing that could distinguish scientific theories is in virtue of the predictions that they make, then he just agrees with the instrumentalist view. So it doesn't, I mean, if he thinks it's incoherent to have a theory that's actually different but doesn't generate different predictions, that's just what it means to be an instrumentalist, you know? So, I mean, he's agreeing with the view, so it doesn't really matter insofar as the discussion we were having is concerned.
Well, I was just asking for an example because it sounds to me on its face incoherent. So if there was an example I could review, then maybe I'd be able to
Do you
understand.
understand what he means when he says it's incoherent, Josh? When he actually has endorsed the view? So he's saying he endorses the view that it makes the same predictions.
No.
It's the same.
No, what he's saying is that scientific realism is incoherent. That's what he's saying.
No, I'm saying having two separate theories make all of the same identical predictions, but having a different structure to me seems incoherent.
Yeah, that's just the instrumentalist view. So you think that scientific realism is incoherent?
I think, didn't you say the instrumentalist view is that if two theories make the same predictions, even if they have different structures or whatever, then they're functionally the same? I'm saying I don't think you can have two theories that have different structures that arrive at the same predictions. It doesn't sound as though that's possible.
Yeah, it's just the instrumentalist view.
It just sounds like nonsense.
In other words, if those two people thought that they were different theories, if two people were disputing whether or not those were different theories, they'd be mistaken, right?
Well, it just seems like they're different theories, right? So like the one that has the fairies, for example, versus the car parts, it seems like you could say they make the same prediction about like making the engine run, but it seems like there'd be a bunch of unstated predictions that would be entailed by the axioms or the evidence that's being appealed to or whatever, like the fairies and stuff. So it just seems like they wouldn't functionally be the same.
Yeah, so they would be different only in virtue of the predictions that they make, which is what the instrumentalist position is. It's just that scientific theories are only different insofar as they generate different predictive expectations.
Oh, then I guess I misunderstood. I thought you were saying that instrumentalism said that if they make the same predictions, then they're basically the same.
It's just the criterion of difference is the predictive expectations, not the contingent historical facts that explain people's languages or whatever.
Right, but is there an example of a Hollow Earth theory that is going to make all the same identical predictions as like the standard theory?
Well, I could send you a paper that you'll never read if you want.
I pretty much read everything that people advise me to read on certain subjects, but yeah, I mean, you can send it. I'll take a look.
That's a shame too, because I really wanted to talk to Brenda, but I'm happy that because I learned something from that conversation that Josh and Jack talked about. So I guess it's all right.
Well, I didn't intercede until you seemed like you were done talking.
No, the point was that we were trying to have a conversation regarding physicalism, so not scientific realism. So, and she was just going off on a tangent and how she doesn't hold controversial views, and I was pointing out how that's irrelevant since I don't evaluate what views I hold based on their relevance or based on their controversy that's behind them. Sorry if my last part got cut off. I was just saying that I evaluate my views based off their coherency, not whether or not they're controversial. That's all I was trying to demonstrate with Brenda, or get through with Brenda. And then we're going to have the conversation regarding physicalism. Josh, did you listen to that video I sent you? I couldn't hear you. You just like unmuted and didn't say anything.
I said no.
It's pretty funny. That's like when I first came into the community. And this was before I met you guys, and I just met Michael and stuff like that. Me and Michael was teaching me things here and there in philosophy. And I understood that I knew enough to know that I shouldn't be a theist anymore, like have a lack of belief in God. But I wanted to come up with arguments for why God doesn't exist. And I was formulating my own. And then Tom and Danny start like shredding into me, on why it doesn't make any sense. But the thing is, back in the day, they didn't recognize my voice because I didn't come in as often. So I would always, since I knew that you guys back in Krillism would always troll people new people who would come into the server and ask if they were atheist or theist, right? And so I would just create alt accounts, right? So I could practice my debate skills because you guys would keep doing new people. So I would just make an alt account and redo it again. You guys never recognized my voice. So I would just keep doing that. And Molly can tell you, because I would sometimes DM Molly and be like, hey, Molly, can you stir up some shit and point attention to me for being a new guy, And so it's pretty funny. It shows how much I've progressed.
Oh, this nutshell thing, this is a little bit different from like a Hollow Earth theory, right?
I don't think so.
Like, I'm assuming when people refer to Hollow Earth, I think that they're talking about the Earth that we're on actually having like a big space in the middle where there's like oceans and reptile people and crap like that, or like mole people. Whereas this nutshell thing, if I understand correctly, it's the view Jack's put forward before, where like everything's just inverted and like all the predictions and all the evidences are the same, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it might have just been like a semantic confusion, because I think if you presented that latter view to Brenda, then Brenda wouldn't use something like the radio waves or whatever, because those radio waves would be expected to behave identically in that theory.
That's what I was saying.
Right, but Brenda was posting graphics of like how the radio waves behave going through the Earth. So I'm assuming that Brenda thought that you meant that there's like a big hole or gap in the middle of the Earth where all kinds of strange things happen.
Yeah, if there's no mole people, it can't be hollow Earth.
Yeah, nutshell Earth and hollow Earth are separate things, it seems.
Yeah, not in this case though. I don't exactly know what Brenda was talking. Nor do I understand what the fuck nutshell Earth is.
The idea is that the surface of the Earth is actually the interior of a hollow sphere. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so the planets, the sun, the moon, and all the stars are contained within the center of that hollow sphere.
Everything else is just
Right. And everything that we observe
weird.
Makes sense. How?
You have to invert the laws of physics to get
fuck
predictive expectations that
Pretty much
are the same as the common sense view.
Does that mean you would have to China or Australia would be above our heads? Interesting. Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't get it.
I found
I
heaven.
don't understand why anybody even postulated this or proposed it.
Are you guys familiar with the process of how a star turns into a dwarf star into a neutron into so forth?
Well, it was a crackpot view, just like the flat Earth view and other hollow Earth hypotheses, right?
The ones that include mole people, right?
But without something like space travel, right, it was sort of like a lot easier for it to be a substantively different theory that was not proven to be false. In fact, they would appeal to things like Occam's razor, right, to disprove it. But a mathematician formalized the theory in such a way that it actually made all the same predictions and as the common sense view. And when you think about it that way, it provides an illustration of the difference between realist and instrumentalist views.
But that doesn't still hold today, right?
No, I'm saying that's a modern formalization, right? So the idea is that if it actually makes all the same predictions, right, the realist wants to say that the theory is false, but they can't appeal to different predictions to show that it's false, right? So they need to give some other kind of argument that it's false. Whereas the instrumentalist will say, well, if it makes all the same predictions, it's not really a different hypothesis. It's just a different way of sort of visualizing the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, did you know that? Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't see how it's useful or valid today, given say space travel, further observation.
No, because the point is that in the formalized version, right, no observation is going to favor one or the other hypothesis.
Why?
Because both hypotheses generate the same predictive expectations.
Doesn't one make further predictions though over the other?
No, not on this. Not as formalized this.
When you say formalized this way, you mean what? Limited in scope? Limited in the predictions that either one makes?
Ones that invert the physics of the common sense view, right? Which is not how the original nutshell Earth hypotheses were conceived.
Okay.
The original hypotheses were conceived in such a way that presumably there could be evidence favoring one or the other. Right? Favoring
I'd have to look into it more.
Favoring the nutshell Earth hypothesis, well, you have to imagine weird things, right, that happen in the. So, for instance, like take the idea of drilling a hole in the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, on the common sense view, right, you drill a hole, you come out on the other side, right, like China or Australia or something, right? Now, that's going to be true too in this formalized hypothesis, but the explanation is going to be different, right? The idea is that actually gets longer, faster, the deeper you go. And it crosses the entire length of the universe to come out the other side. Now, you still end up coming out on Australia, where Australia is, but there's sort of like a different explanation given for what's happening, right? But the thing is, the observations are the same.
The hole ends up getting crossing the entire universe that we can't observe. The part of the universe that we don't observe.
Well, the point is, you might be able to observe it. You could crawl through the. You could crawl through.
But we don't observe having not drilled the hole. Yeah, I mean it's weird just to think.
Yes, that's right. It's like observing this. It's like observing what's below the surface of the Earth if you hadn't drilled a hole below the surface. Into the below. If you hadn't drilled a hole and through the Earth's crust, right? You wouldn't really know what's going on below. But they're saying if you made that journey, you'd be traveling across the entire universe rather than just across the interior of one.
Right, you'd have to traverse some distance that eventually comes out on the other side, whatever that is. I mean, you keep saying the universe in its entirety, whatever that is in this scenario. Because in this scenario, all the other planets are on the inside.
That's right.
Stars are on the inside.
That's right.
So what you're actually traversing is unknown until you drill the hole through one end.
Yeah, just like
expanse,
what's
whatever it may be, to come out the other end of the nuts.
Yeah, but just like what's below the Earth's crust on the common sense view is unknown until you drill it.
Right. Yeah.
So Jack, so the argument goes like this. I'm not going to go through both theories since I have to read these on my own because there's a lot of information to process. But just so I have the general idea. So imagine if we had these two theories, right? And these theories produced, which is say for sake of argument, both of these theories produce similar predictions, right? We can conceive of these two theories. Now, the realist wants to say that obviously the common sense theory, right, that looks to be right is the correct theory, right? But there's no fact of the matter for a realist to appeal to say that one is correct over the other. But what the instrumentalist is saying is that both theories are just different perceptions on how we view things or something like that.
Well, they want to appeal.
You cut out.
The realist wants to. They want to claim. The realist wants to claim that there is a fact of the matter, but they want to say that there can be a fact of the matter, even if there are no differences in what's predicted by the two hypotheses.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. No, okay, that makes sense. I understand the view. Yeah, so I can argue it now. Excellent. No, I just need to
Author
research
of that
the,
article, when he tries to, he's clearly the author of that article is clearly a realist. He thinks that the nutshell Earth, even in this isomorphic version, is false. But when asked, when he tries to explain why we should dismiss it, all he appeals to is Occam's.
Right. Awesome. Okay.
Wait, so were you saying earlier that on Nutshell Earth, that when you attempt to drill a hole through the Earth, that you're drilling through all of the unseen universe and arriving out the other side?
On this version of the hypothesis that was formalized.
Based on inverted laws of physics and such.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I was listening. So when you're drilling through the Earth, what is like the thickness of the Earth, the same thing as the thickness of the nutshell, and then at some point between drilling all the way through or arriving
Well,
out
like
the other
the idea is right. Like, I don't know how many miles it is, right? But let's just say, 100 years from now, let's imagine there was a drill that could drill. Let's imagine technology advancing to the point that in like 50 days you could drill through to the other side, right? Now, obviously, on the nutshell Earth hypothesis, if you dig into the surface of the Earth, which is really the interior, the surface of the Earth is really the interior of this
of the
hollow
nut.
sphere. Yeah, that extends a much vaster distance, right? To the entire distance of the across the entire universe to get to the other side. That's presumably like this vast distance, right? But so the question is, how would you come out on the other side in 50 days if you had to cross that distance? So the way that the theory accommodates that is by saying that when you
is anyone else cut out for him? I heard when
Sorry.
you.
Yeah, he's been cutting out.
So the way the theory accommodates for it is that when you.
Is that when you drill, the deeper you go, the more quickly your drill gets longer.
Oh, that's funny.
Your drill is actually lengthening, and it'll start lengthening.
That's what she said.
At like colossal lengths,
right?
And will be doing so at colossal speeds. Yeah, in order to cross the entire universe and come out the other side in just 50 days.
So there's a couple of things I was thinking about that. So like I guess they were to say that if you snuck a ruler in next to the drill to measure the length
that
of the drill,
would lengthen too.
The ruler would lengthen too. Yeah. Okay. So it wouldn't be an accurate measurement because
any different. Well, no, it'd be accurate. It just wouldn't. It would. Well, okay. Yeah, I guess that's an interesting point. Would it be accurate?
Right. That the numbers that the digits between the numbers would also be lengthening the same way that the drill is lengthening. Yeah. So it's like getting warped by space-time or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sci-fi notion like that.
Right.
Okay. And then the other thing that I was thinking about, because I thought that might be like a response that someone could give. I was thinking, what about the measurement of the number of atoms in like a square. Well, okay. Well, I guess that would be consistent too, because the number of atoms of measurement of the drill in a square meter, quote unquote, would also be the number of atoms in the drill in a measurement of a quote unquote square meter when you're partway through the earth, right?
Yeah, I don't. But see, I don't know all. I don't know
You're
all
not.
the details as to how the theory is able to like invert everything so that every
Yeah.
prediction would be identical, right? The drill example is just sort of one example that the author gives, because I haven't read the original paper.
Okay.
You know, there's a paper that the author of this article cites, which is, you know, where this model is laid out, right? And he just gives a few examples of what the inverted physics would be like, right, in order to
Yeah.
generate the same predictive expectations as a common sense view, right? And one of those examples is the drill, right? But I don't.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could come up with examples that I just don't. I myself, you know, don't know, but presumably that's something that they've accounted for.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I was thinking like it's I mean, trying to work you know with it, even though it's extremely unintuitive, because the perception or like the experience that somebody has of the earth is of a spherical earth, and you're saying that on the nutshell earth all of those experiences would be consistent. But I was just thinking about like when you say that you're drilling from the inside through the shell of the nut, it's just really hard to understand compared to the way that I'm thinking about it, how that can be like consistent when you're conceiving of that. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's not really anything more than just saying that it's like unintuitive.
yeah, it's unintuitive. But the point is, on the original versions of the hypothesis, you know, presumably if you like flew out into space or something, you could observe, or you could try drilling through the earth, right? There'd be some sort of different expectation, right? Like if you really had to drill across the entire length of the universe, you wouldn't come out in 50 days. And
Yeah,
you could then,
exactly. Yeah.
but on this version,
That was exactly what I was going to
all
ask about. In this version, all
falsifiers would be accommodated. So you would just have a very unintuitive picture, but it would be one which was scientifically identical, at least from, if we understand the identity to be based on predictions.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to sound a little bit like the evolutionary argument against naturalism, but from like a universe perspective.
Yeah, I think one way you can actually respond to the.
To the.
Sorry. Push. I have to keep doing it. Yeah. Okay,
I'm
there we
sorry
go.
about it.
No, I think it's working now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Can you hear? Okay, yeah. I think that actually there's a deep relationship between the evolutionary argument against naturalism and this issue, because Plantinga runs that argument in such a way that he runs the argument in such a way that he's actually presupposing that you could have all the same experiences, but there'd be a different sort of explanation, right? And that's basically a Cartesian view, right? Like if you think about when Descartes sort of doubts away, you're familiar with the evil demon, right?
Yeah.
Descartes' evil demon. So the basic idea is just that we have this view that there's an external world, right? And in fact, there could be an evil demon that
gives you experiences, but the actual reality is false. So he doubts away until he gets to his existence.
Yeah. So the point is that things could be exactly the same in experience, but nonetheless be totally different, right? In fact,
Right, yeah.
solipsism could be true, right?
Yes.
There could be no external world. There could be just your mind, right?
Yeah.
So that type of epistemology is what makes Plantinga's evolutionary argument possible. It actually presupposing a Cartesian epistemology. And the Cartesian
epistemology.
Cartesian epistemology really is a kind of metaphysical realism, right? It's saying that, because remember, the instrumentalist is saying that if it makes all the same predictions, it's the same hypothesis, right? The realist is denying that. So the realist is really a Cartesian.
Right.
And
Okay,
if in fact you can sort of show that Cartesian epistemology is sort of false or untenable or unsound in some way, right? If you can attack Cartesian epistemology, then you actually undermine Plantinga's argument. Because Plantinga's argument doesn't go through if in fact you have all the same beliefs, right? But there's sort of like somehow the world is different, even though all the predictive expectations are the same on both hypotheses, right?
Same beliefs, world is different.
Yeah.
Same predictive expectations.
Yes.
So that kind of reminds me about what Quine says when he talks about how two things are intentional or something like that with if the truth can be replaced or can't be replaced when you substitute some other word, but it seems like extensional. It seems like that's not extensional because the facts of the matter are completely different despite the beliefs being the same.
Well, Quine actually was an anti-Cartesian. He held to a verificationist view, where he said,
right, he's an epistemologist.
In his epistemology, he basically said, when you have two hypotheses, right, that he basically said when you have two hypotheses that generate all the same predictions, they're just the same hypothesis. So in fact, he actually said that.
That's extensionalism.
He actually said that you could actually probably find a way to talk about it in terms of Greek gods rather than scientific.
That's cool.
Rather than a scientific vocabulary. But as long as you constructed that in such a way that you ended up with the same predictive outcomes, there really wouldn't be a fact of the matter as to which was the correct vocabulary. It'd just be a question of which was more convenient.
It'd be something like both theories are describing the same content, but the language is the only thing that's different. So you're really talking about that ties into what he has to say about analyticity as well, right? The analytic synthetic.
Because he's saying that all beliefs form a web, right? In which each belief in some way
right. The variously jointed theory that when one joint is shaken, the other nearby joints are affected, and it's kind of like a moderately holistic view of it.
Yeah, exactly. So that
he
thinks that what is sometimes called, his view is sometimes called holistic verificationism. It's sometimes called confirmation holism, right? He thinks that that sort of picture is a solution to kind of to the Cartesian skeptical worries, because the Cartesian skeptical challenges basically disappear if there's no fact of the matter about a hypothesis that doesn't generate different predictive expectations. That's what the Cartesian scenarios trade on, right? You can have all the same experiences, all the same predictive expectations, but nonetheless, the world isn't really there, right? That's essentially what Quine is denying.
Right. Well, Quine. Well, the reason that he's denying that is because of his naturalized epistemology and his scientific scientific epistemology, right? We're just that skepticism, and just that skepticism
Well, I think a
itself.
better word would be pragmatist, right? Because, as I say, he doesn't really have a problem substituting the vocabulary of Greek gods for that of modern science, right? What really matters are the predictions.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it was really cool that he, when he talks about how skepticism arises from science itself, so skeptical objections actually have you in a stronger position than you consider that you are.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
Josh
pretty-
was talking about underdetermination, right? And that thesis is actually called the Duhem-Quine thesis.
Right. Well, I actually saw that it's more of Duham's. It's more charitable to Quine when you call it the Duhem-Quine, but it can just as easily be called the Duhem.
Yeah, well, even if he didn't originate it, the point is he endorsed it and famously pressed it, saying that, observations underdetermined data, they don't tell you, underdetermined theory, data underdetermines theory, observations underdetermined theory. So
yeah,
when you have an observation that is inconsistent with your theory, it doesn't tell you whether you should revise that theory in the foreground or the background assumptions, right? And so sometimes the denial of the analytic synthetic distinction, I think, is taken by some to just be the view that there's sort of like no a priori rule that tells you what to fix in order to accommodate that observational anomaly.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty consistent way of describing what I was reading about. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And if you're familiar with Landon 87, who is famously a skeptical kind of moron, he was the one that actually took the first resolution to the analytic synthetic distinction, saying that mathematics is just an induction of observation. So that was kind of interesting reading about that after experiencing it.
Who is Landon 87?
He's a guy in Blue Politics